Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. Well, September has been a bloody month for Kern County deputies. 17's Moses Small went to the press conference today at which Sheriff Donny Youngblood explains what comes next. He joins us in studio with more. Moses?
Thank you. 2020 is on track to be the deadliest year in Kern County history, and officers have been caught in the crossfire. Sheriff Donny Youngblood held a press conference to update us on how the department wants to move forward after two officer-involved shootings in the same month.
When you pull the trigger in this business, in this profession, a lot of things are going to happen. None of them are good. And my concern is to provide public safety to this community. But my number one concern is make sure my officers are safe and have the training and equipment to protect themselves when they respond to a call for service.
The Sheriff's Office released body camera video of a confrontation on September 3rd. Deputy Ubaldo Weiss responded to a call about a suspicious vehicle on the 100 block of Moneta Avenue, just north of Chester Avenue in Oildale. He arrived around 1:30 that morning to find it was stolen. Camera video released by the sheriff this morning. You can see 31-year-old Ricardo Usher run towards the deputy. Deputy Weiss opened fire, stopping the suspect. Usher is hospitalized right now and in stable condition. The sheriff also released video of a shooting on Highway 14 about 2 weeks ago. Sheriff Deputy Christopher Saldana confronted 37-year-old Fernando Naples. You can see a sheriff's police car next to the stolen car occupied by the suspect. The sheriff said Naples pulled a shotgun and pointed it at Deputy Saldana. Saldana shot Naples, who died on the scene. No officers were injured in either shooting, and both were placed on administrative leave. Sheriff Youngblood says the Kern County Sheriff's Office is planning to put new measures in place to protect police officers. This conference comes hardly a week after a gunman ambushed two first responders in Compton. Youngblood says these types of ambushes are becoming more frequent and that officers don't dictate when these shootings happen, suspects do. He did not release details on what specific safety measures he would put in place to keep sheriff's deputies safe.
All right, thanks so much for that, Moses. Now to Kern's sober reality, with police announcing plans to conduct a DUI and driver's license checkpoint tomorrow. It will take place at an undisclosed location within the city limits between the hours of 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. The checkpoint is in an effort to help reduce the number of people injured and killed in alcohol and drug-related crashes. Anyone who sees a suspected drunk driver is asked to call 911. And Bakersfield police are reminding drivers to obey the speed limit while driving. BPD says in 2019, the #1 cause for crashes in Bakersfield were due to speeding. Officers advise you to be safe out on the roadways and make sure to give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination. BPD says speed limits are there to protect all drivers on the roadways. Now to an overwhelming number in the fight against coronavirus. COVID-19 cases have topped 30 million. And that's according to Johns Hopkins University. The worldwide count of the novel virus passed 30 million yesterday. More than half of those cases are from the United States, India, and Brazil. The U.S. leads the country count with at least 6.6 million cases. The U.S. also leads in total number of deaths. Currently, over 197,000 people have died since the pandemic began. Global cases surpassed 20 million on August 12th. And now to the coronavirus. Here in Kern County, 10 new deaths were reported today, along with 113 cases. Kern County has had over 31,000 people test positive for COVID-19. Right now, over 12,000 are still isolated in their homes, while over 137 are in the hospital. 350 people have died from COVID-19 here in Kern County. Well, COVID-19 could cause a decline in life expectancy. Scientists used a model that simulates the chances of getting infected with the virus and the probability of dying from it or another cause within a year. They found life expectancy would not be affected as long as a country's prevalence rate was low. However, countries with high life expectancies could begin to see a drop if just 2% of its residents were infected. If the prevalence was 10%, the loss in life expectancy is likely to be at least 1 year. The scientists say life expectancy will likely recover once the pandemic is over. Now in your educational news now, it's an unexpected result of the pandemic. More parents are growing concerned about learning disabilities in their kids, but could be something else really be to blame. Learning at home has been hard, leading some parents to wonder, could my child have a learning disability? Well, many are particularly concerned about attention disorders like ADHD. Leah Ann Ramo is a licensed psychologist at Beaumont Children's Center for Human Development. She says if there were not any concerns about your child's attention or learning before the pandemic, other factors are likely to blame. One simple but often overlooked explanation, lack of exercise. Ramo says the lack of physical activity could disrupt their sleep pattern and cause them to be inattentive. Well, students across the Golden Empire continue distance learning, but for some, it's a huge challenge. I sat down with a family seeing the impacts it is having on their children with autism.
Meet Dax and Ariana, just your typical 7 and 8-year-olds, except one thing. They're on the spectrum. And during this time of distance learning, a lot has changed for them.
They are the type of kids that need to be in a class and with a structured routine, and that was taken away. And so when they're home, it's like, I don't need to be in a routine. And so it was very, very difficult and challenging to get them to cooperate and do anything.
Since they have been attending school virtually, it has caused them to regress in a lot of aspects.
Well, my daughter was diagnosed high functioning, so that's almost like Asperger's. So she's very highly intelligent. She can spell, she can read at a 4th grade reading level. She's very, very intellectually smart. She does have some like little quirks, which is like fidgeting, stimming. And my son is moderate to severe with, he has SPD, which is sensory processing disorder. And he also has severe stimming issues orally. And what that means is they chew on stuff, shirts, pencils, whatever they can find. His fine motor skills are like that of a kindergartner, and he's in 2nd grade, and they probably may never change.
8-year-old Ariana spends most of her day independently learning, whereas Dax, 7 years old, is online for several hours. Cole explains they both are facing immense challenges with this.
She's only on there for 20 minutes twice a day. And the rest of that, she has to work independently, and she struggles with that. And the opposite for my son, he's on there like 3 to 4 hours a day, and then he can work independently, and he'd rather do that than be on Zooms.
Children with special needs thrive on structure and a routine, and during these months of distance learning, that routine has been flipped 180 degrees.
That's structure to them, that's a routine, and that has been disrupted for all the kids. And so trying to teach them a new way, it's difficult.
Cole says for other parents in the same boat, it can be frustrating at times, but it's important to take time for yourself. She hopes her kids can go back to the classroom soon and get back on the right track.
We've learned a firefighter has died while battling a fire in Southern California. Forest Service officials say the firefighter was assigned to the El Dorado fire. They died yesterday. The fire is burning in the San Bernardino National Forest. You may remember flames quickly spread after a gender reveal party 2 weeks ago. It has burned more than 21,000 acres. Information on the name of the firefighter or what agency they worked for has not been released. The cause of the death is still under investigation. And new evacuations in place due to the Bobcat fire in LA County. The Bobcat fire is resurgent. Firefighters made significant progress, but it exploded Wednesday night, feeding on dry hills and hot temperatures. Now at more than 60,000 acres and 15% containment. Dozens of wildfires are still burning throughout the state, including the Creek Fire east of Fresno, now at more than 248,000 acres and 20% contained. In all, 5,400 structures have been destroyed and 25 people have died due to the fires up and down the state. And we are continuing to see the impacts of those fires right here in the Golden Empire. Let's send it back over to Kevin again.
Well, take a look at our forecast, and temperatures have been starting to cool off. Let's hope they stay that way, because guess what? Right around the corner is, yes, fall. We can't wait. It actually hits our area September 22nd in the morning hours, so let's hope these temperatures will continue to fall for us. I always look forward to the fall months. 82 in Sacramento for today, 81 in Fresno. We're looking at 80 in Los Angeles, and if you're headed east to try your luck in Vegas, still quite warm at 104. The beaches, beautiful afternoon ahead, a high of 71 under mostly sunny skies, a northwest wind right around 10 to 15. As we take a look at the overall air quality today, not in our favor, unhealthy with an AQI at 156. And our highs today will be cooler. 86 in Bakersfield, 85 out in Taft, 87 in Buttonwillow. Look for a northwest wind 5 to 10. For the mountains in the Kern Valley, I do expect a little bit of a breeze throughout the afternoon. Winds gusting around 40, 82 in Fraser Park, 80 in Tehachapi, near 90 for the Kern Valley. And then for the desert, mostly sunny today, 93 in Mojave, Ridgecrest, and 98. Your extended forecast shows a nice Saturday ahead, 83. We will see the haze, but mostly sunny skies. So hopefully we'll see the bluer skies around the area. We can only hope, right? And then as we head into Sunday and early next week, temperatures remain in the 80s to lower 90s. For the mountains, upper 70s tomorrow. Should be looking at sunny skies. And then Sunday through Thursday, we'll look at the lower 80s. In the Kern Valley, also a nice Saturday ahead. Should be sunny, 87, and then lower 90s Sunday through next Thursday. And again, all this dependent on that smoke layer. I'll have much more in your forecast. That's coming up tonight at 5 and 6. We'll see you then.
The federal government bans TikTok and WeChat. Now, starting Sunday, the U.S. will begin blocking distribution of the Chinese apps. That means no new downloads, but TikTok will work for a few more weeks. The ban on crucial services like internet hosting doesn't start until November 12th. WeChat's ban, however, goes into full effect Sunday. The Commerce Department says the decision stems from the app's ability to collect huge amounts of data from users and their connections to China's military and intelligence services. With our government stating the potential use of the data creates, quote, unacceptable risks to our national security. TikTok, a video app, has about 100 million monthly U.S. users. WeChat is mainly a messaging app. Well, the smell of meat on the grill and fries in fresh oil will be plentiful today for National Cheeseburger Day. Chains around the country are here and here at home are offering up a plethora of deals in celebration of the day, including Applebee's, Happy Jack's Pine Burger, Juicy Burger, Red Robin, and more. We've got a list of local deals on our website, KGET.com. When it comes to America's favorite burger, a 2019 Business Insider poll of 3,000 respondents said their favorite chain burger was In-N-Out, with Five Guys close behind. Well, beginning at sundown tonight, Jews in Kern County and around the world will celebrate the Jewish New Year, known in Hebrew as Rosh Hashanah. Now, the two-day holiday marks the beginning of the 10 days of awe, a period for repentance and reflection leading up to Yom Kippur. The Day of Atonement, considered the holiest day of the Jewish year. Typically on Rosh Hashanah, people gather for shared meals and in-person services, but this year, Temple Bethel in Northeast Bakersfield plans to hold services virtually.
Jewish tradition emphasizes pikuach nefesh, sort of the protection of life. And we're committed to that as a congregation. I just want to wish all of the Bakersfield and Kern County community a Shana Tova U'Mituka, a sweet new year, with the hopes that this year 5781, as the tradition teaches, is one of healing and strengthening and joy and celebration for all of us.
Rosh Hashanah will officially conclude at sundown on Sunday evening. On behalf of all of us at KGET, wishing a happy and healthy new year to all who celebrate. Well, the California Living Museum is set to reopen their doors to the public. Now, Calm announced today they will be reopening September 23rd with modifications. Calm has not said what those modifications will look like. The zoo will open at 9 a.m. and close at 3 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. Calm says the animals have missed you, so they encourage you to come out and enjoy the nice weather. Well, do you want to exercise for a good cause? Now you can. The 7th annual Kern Cancer Run is going virtual amid the pandemic, but that means you can participate from anywhere this year. Last year, more than 800 cancer survivors and community members teamed up to raise over $50,000. This year, they're trying to get 1,000 participants. Now you can register at kerncountycancerrun.org.
working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.